Very important, another very important question, and I took the time to think about it. I went first of all. I said, "What is common good?" Concept-wise, and I went to dig a bit into the history. And it was actually firstly introduced by the ancient Greek Aristotle. So the common good is constituted in the good of individuals, human prosperity and fulfillment of purpose. If we go into that logic, philosophical logic of Aristotle. Now, a contemporary usage of this concept, rooted in this specific philosophy, which I quote here, refers to a good proper to and attainable only by the community, yet individually shared by its members. Very interesting. And the concept is very clear: sharing of the benefit by the community, yet individually by each member. So each member will benefit. Now, it is not by a group of members or a category of members. And I think this is quite powerful in my view if we go back to the root of it. Today, the benefits of global growth, which we have benefited of, in a certain way, not everybody, especially if I take, for example, from the post-Washington consensus, is shared by group, not by the planetary community, so not by the planet. Today, evidence shows, and of course, it's known by all international organizations and by all the research that has been done, is that there is racial inequality, there is higher poverty in some pockets, vulnerabilities, pocket wars and displacement in many parts of the world. So it means that the common good principle at the planetary level, it's not fulfilled. Why? That's my big question. I don't know. Now, the role of economics here, and one branch of it, which is finance, is to serve the society and the community and to pay attention to the new constraints that we're living. Environment, climate change, for example, it's very key aspect that economics needs to look at very carefully. To create and sustain common good to be shared by all of us, this did not happen, and on the contrary, common good became, in a way, private groupings good, taking informational, technological, financial, and other advantages to their own benefit and interest. Now, I'm fond of Jean Tirole, who is a Nobel Prize of Economics, who wrote a fantastic book on specifically this topic, on common good. And he believes that markets can and must incorporate morality aspects. Let me dig a bit into this to better understand the concept, because I think he really went through his very interesting book about this specific topic. Now, what he said, he recognized the vast benefit of free market economy, but also warns against the danger of abuse, particularly in sectors like healthcare, employee incentives, and up to trafficking of humans and organs. Now, I agree with his view that common good, it's our collective aspiration of the society. And this is also very close to the historical concept as it was. Now, economics must do what we want to make out of it. To understand the common good, economics must answer to, and I quote from him again, in what social systems we would like to live in, and what society would be most beneficial to anyone to pursue these aspirations. And he continues to argue, and I quote, the duty of an academic, economist, for example, being an economist, or rather, as I mentioned, is to advance knowledge, but also must collectively aim to make the world a better place. I think this is very important. But the problem here of this specific wish is whether they can or they have to overcome what I call this bounded rationality. They have to overcome the asymmetry and adverse selection problem and also the incentive structure that we have in our economies and societies, that sometimes, well, not sometimes, mainly most of the times, are one-sided without regards to the cost entailed. So why, for example, when we know that there is cost for our planet, for example, when we overgrow certain, activities and so on, why we just don't stop it? And this is what it's very difficult to understand. So let me take again one another example. The COVID-19. COVID-19 pandemic has shocked us, has shocked the planet, and we are still living in it. And then it shocked our economies, shocked our behaviors, it shocked our even social way of thinking. And we must ask ourselves, which is the most important common good needed for our societies to prosper? And to go over this. If it is healthcare, why after 1 year there is still a competitive game, competitive race to vaccines, to maximize profit, is it? Why there is no clear universal access to vaccines, which is free for all? So this is a reflection. I'm not finding the answer. Sorry, William.